So you wrote, consider this hypothetical. A woman is battered by her husband day in and day out for decades. She lets out a shriek of agony and despair. The neighbors ignore her pleas. She contacts the police. After conducting a thorough investigation, they file a devastating report, but it's left in a desk drawer to collect dust. One day, as he approaches her, the battered woman decides to take matters into her own hands and reaches for a knife and stabs him once, twice, 3 times. He grabs his pistol and shoots her dead in self-defense. The wife batterer would more likely than not be acquitted of murder in the court of law. But did he have the moral right to kill her? So if I'm right, it seems that you're saying that the people in Gaza have been abused for a long time, so you've got to expect some violence to come out.
Well, not quite. Mr. Hassell, unfortunately, we're pressed for time, but I have to be very clear about what I wrote. If the woman had not let out any screams, if she had not called the police, then I would say she had not exploited all the options that were available to her. And therefore, her case for stabbing the man would have been significantly weakened. But I was very careful to say she yelled and screamed in agony and torment, hoping to call attention to her battery. And those screams and torments were ignored. She then called the police. The police filed reports. You want to know what those reports are called? The Goldstone Report, the Mary McGowan Davis Report, the dozens of Amnesty International reports, the dozens of Human Rights Watch reports, all of them confirming that Israel's committing war crimes and plausibly crimes against humanity in Gaza. Hamas cooperated with all the commissions, whereas Israel refused to cooperate with the Goldstone Commission, for example, or the Goldstone Mission. Hamas cooperated. Now, Hamas knew that these missions would also indict them for war crimes. They knew that. There's a long record of these missions indicting Israel, but never forgetting to indict Hamas. And the same thing was done by Karim Khan, the chief prosecutor of the International Criminal Court. Yes, he issued arrest warrants for Israel, Gallant and Netanyahu, but he also issued arrest warrants. But here's the difference. In every instance, Hamas, even though it knew it itself would be indicted, Hamas cooperated in the hope that maybe, just maybe, they would get justice for the people of Gaza. And each of those reports was exhaustive. I mean, we're talking about very large reports. The Goldstone report, I forgot now, but must have run into 300 pages. And totally ignored. So, you tried, in the metaphor of the woman, or the analogy of the woman, you tried screaming and yelling, you're ignored. You called the police, you're ignored. Then I would say that woman exhausted all options short of stabbing the man, her batterer for 20 years, stabbing him in order to put an end for once and for all to her agony and her torment. And I do believe the man, even though more likely than not, it's called the castle doctrine, as in a man's home is his castle, the Hassell doctrine, the man would be acquitted in court on the grounds of self-defense. I believe he had no right to shoot her. He forfeited that right as a result of the 20 years of tormenting her. And she had a right to live because she exhausted all available options.